Many Mazda Premacy operated in Ukraine were sold by an official dealer. Although there are many cars that came to us through the efforts of domestic ferrymen. But regardless of the way you get into our country, all compact vans are quite well equipped: central locking, power windows, electric and heated exterior mirrors, power steering, 4 airbags, air conditioning and ABS. The most expensive sport equipment includes folding tables in the backs of the rear seats, like in airplanes. By the way, such versions also differ in white instrument scales and decorative inserts on the dashboard under aluminum. At the same time, claims can be made against the designers regarding the sound insulation of the rear arches. When driving in the cabin, the noise of the wheels is heard. Premacy borrowed all the power units from the Mazda 323 BJ, although due to the greater mass, the compact car was equipped with only the most powerful engines from the 323 line. Pre-styling cars were aggregated with two 1.8-liter engines, 100 and 114 horsepower, and among cars manufactured after 2001, 2.0-liter modifications are also common. Officially, only petrol versions were supplied to Ukraine. In general, the power units are reliable and, with timely maintenance, about 300,000 kilometers can go before replacing the rings. No typical problems with them during operation were identified. The gas distribution mechanism of all engines is driven by a belt, which must be changed along with the tension and bypass rollers every 100,000 kilometers, unless, of course, they are original. According to the manufacturer's recommendations, the valve clearances should be checked and adjusted at the same time. But according to operating experience, the need for this procedure occurs less often, after about 150,000 kilometers, work, about $45, one puck, about $10. True, it is not always necessary to buy all 16 washers. Some of them are taken from the so-called exchange fund. Premacy was equipped with 5-speed manual and 4-speed automatic gearboxes. According to the experts who advised us, among the cars operated in Ukraine, parity remains with respect to both units. If you wish, it is easy to find a version equipped with both mechanics and automatic. Both are reliable. True, if the car with the mechanics was not used for a long time, then the traction of the switching drive mechanism was covered with rust and wedged, making it difficult to select gears. An oil change in a mechanical gearbox must be carried out every 70,000 kilometers. Lubrication in an automatic gearbox, according to the manufacturer's recommendations, is designed for the entire service life of the unit, although to increase the resource, you still need to change the oil every 100,000 kilometers. For a family compact van, the Premacy suspension is harsh. The chassis conveys the road relief in too much detail. However, this setting is great for active driving. The car is stable even when passing through sharp turns. The steering with sharp and intelligible reactions is also set up accordingly. Driving the Premacy fast is a pleasure. The suspension is quite reliable. Even on our roads, serious repairs will be needed after about 100,000 kilometers. Such a period, as a rule, is nursed by silent blocks of the front levers and ball bearings, as well as silent blocks of the rear rods. Less, about 60,000 kilometers, only the front and rear anti-roll bars hold. At the same time, please note that running gear maintenance is expensive, since ball joints are supplied with levers, original spare part, $370. Rear suspension rods are also offered with rubber bands. For example, longitudinal rod costs about $74. Also together with rear wheel bearings are also sold with hubs, branded part, $218. When replacing ball joints, you can save money by installing a non-original product, which is offered separately for about $30, while the rest of the parts are not supplied separately. After 200,000 kilometers, due to corrosion, there may be problems with the parking brake mechanism. The status quo can be restored by cleaning the mechanism and installing a repair kit. Parts $40, labor $27. The purchase of this compact van can be recommended to family motorists, mostly traveling around the city, for whom the internal volume of a C-Class car is no longer enough, and a full-size minivan is too much. But most importantly, the potential owner of the Mazda Premacy is a driver who loves an active drive. But if you are a supporter of measured driving, look for a car with a more comfortable suspension and less sharp steering.